Netflix just changed the industry as we know it. With the purchase of Warner Brothers, wrestling fans want to know, how will this affect all elite wrestling? Well, let's talk about it right here in Alyx's World. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx. Netflix bought Warner Brothers. Cash only. $83 billion. The exact amount, I believe, was $82.8 billion. That's a game changer. I'm not here to talk about what that means for the movie industry. We're not going to do that today. We'll be here all day talking about that. I specifically want to focus on professional wrestling. We already know Netflix has a deal with WWE. And with this deal, AEW technically will be under the same umbrella. Both WWE and AEW, if this deal goes through and no one steps in at the last second, will be under the same umbrella, the Netflix umbrella. What does that mean? Now, I did see certain content creators come up here and say, don't worry about it. It won't hurt AEW. They'll be okay. That's not necessarily true. They could be okay, but they might not be. Certain factors that we're not looking at here could have a massive, drastic impact on All Elite Wrestling. I want to take an honest look at this acquisition and what could come as a result of Warner Brothers being purchased by Netflix and how it could directly affect AEW, positively and negatively. So let's just start from the top. Netflix acquired Warner Brothers for $83 billion. Now again, anything could happen from now until pen is put to paper. But it looks like the deal is closed. It looks like things are basically settled. This is a new game-changing acquisition. It will affect the movie industry. How? To what severity? We don't know. But this is a massive deal. Says here, equity value alone is about $72 billion. Wow. WB shareholders receive $27 per share. Man, people made money off of it. Here's what was acquired through this deal. Netflix will get CNN, TNT, TBS, all these assets. They will also get DC Comics, HBO programming, HBO Max. Says here, decades of film and TV history. Netflix says the companies will continue to operate under separate brands for now. So, although Netflix technically acquired HBO Max, that's still going to be separate. We're not going to fuse HBO Max with Netflix. Still going to be separate streaming services. But if you're not expecting these prices to go up, be aware. I'm just letting you know. So, we get into all the stuff that we know they have. Massive catalog of TV shows and blockbuster franchises. This includes DC Comics. So the DCU under James Gunn, now to Netflix. Harry Potter, Looney Tunes, The Wire. I'm just now watching The Wire. That's going to be on, well, I won't say on Netflix, but under the umbrella of Netflix. You name your favorite shows owned currently by Warner Brothers. Netflix now acquired them. Now, with every big purchase comes a debt burden. Anytime a company is bought, they always go into debt, which is why I said expect prices to go up. TKO buying WWE, owning WWE and UFC, put them billions of dollars in debt. Same thing's going to happen here. Things are going to go up. Everything's going up. Hopefully not by too much. So, with all that said, you don't care about anything else but AEW. What does this mean for AEW? So, currently, the idea is they're still going to be operating on TBS at the same time. Not much has changed. Still going to be on pay-per-view for now. Now, what is to be expected from them? Because now that it's under the Netflix umbrella, along with WWE, now comes this idea of competition and streaming dollars. Netflix is all about the return. That's why they made that deal with WWE, because they felt, all right, if we're giving you this much money, we're expecting that much back in return. The only reason they were able to make this deal was because they had money just sitting by. What was that movie? Not show, but movie that blew up during the summer? K-pop Demon Hunters? Hundreds of billions of dollars off of that alone. That's probably what got them this deal in the first place. So they're all about the return. If they don't see a return on their investment, you're out. So all this talk about AEW bleeding money, that's not going to look good for them. Netflix will axe them, especially knowing WWE over here is doing good business. We can talk about television quality and storylines and all that another day. Because even I think 2025 was a horrible year for creative when it comes to WWE and AEW. But regardless, they did good business this year. WWE did great business. Whether we like them or not, they made a return on their investment, which is what Netflix wants to see. AEW cannot afford to go 1 or 2 years bleeding money. They will get cut. New leadership means new standards, and these people don't play. Now, this also means potential shifts in broadcasting. Since we're consolidating everything, AEW might need to renegotiate their deals. They might be moved like WWE. Monday Night Raw was moved to Netflix. Who's to say they won't move AEW to HBO Max? It saves them money. Now, some good things that can come from this. Crossover. All of these Netflix stars could be making appearances. Maybe not on the television show, but in the crowd. It's good to help boost AEW's standing with the masses. At the same time, though, with these large budgets, you never know what could happen to niche products like AEW. They might need to fight harder for visibility because you're not just competing with WWE anymore. Now you're competing with all of these shows from HBO Max and Netflix. So that's going to be a lot harder to be seen as important. When it was just Warner Brothers, it was the top of the line, right? It was one of the priority shows, companies that was focused on. It was heavily prioritized. But now that you're under the Netflix umbrella, are you going to be prioritized more than WWE? The answer is no. But not just WWE. What about all these other shows and all these other IP properties? You just never know. They're going to have to really step up their game and show their value. Otherwise, they'll be kicked to the curb. This could change how certain live events are valued. Pay-per-view costs. Again, things are going up, but at the same time, it's great for global exposure. No offense to HBO Max, more people subscribe to Netflix than HBO Max. That's a bigger audience that AEW could tap into. Let me give you my straight thoughts without any kind of notes, looking you dead in your face when it comes to AEW and this deal. Do I think this is the end of AEW? No. However, they're going to need to be on their A game now. It's time out for coasting. Tony Khan, for the last year or so, since the deal was made, has been coasting. He's been coasting off of good money, a great deal that he made with Warner Brothers Discovery. Now that the leadership has changed, now that the entire landscape has changed, you can't coast no more. Netflix will not tolerate no returns. If you are not bringing in the numbers that is expected of you with the money that you're making, they will cut you. I'm not joking you. Netflix will cut you because they're constantly getting a flow of new content coming in every day. This is the big leagues now. Well, technically Warner Brothers was the big leagues, but not really because they wasn't really doing well. How many movies did they cancel? They're not going to play with you. They always got something coming in. They always have some new property looking to blow up. If you're not going to meet the standard, if you're not telling compelling stories, if you're not filling up the arenas, if you're not giving the fans what they want to make you watch every single week, they will say it will be the quickest cut they ever made. This is not a time for Tony Khan to coast now. You need to start bringing it. If anything else, now's the time to start taking your shit seriously, to start listening to the fans and giving the fans what they want, super feeding your audience, and expanding that with great storytelling, great storylines, great characters, must see television. You already got the wrestling down. The wrestling is top notch. Hasn't always been. I feel like 2025 was a dip, a little bit. Well, 2024 was also a dip. But I feel like we're getting back to the swing of things now. We're seeing remnants of the old AEW, not just with returning faces, but also inside the ring as well. Swerve is back. Will Ospreay is looking to come back pretty soon. So you have an opportunity here to really make use of this acquisition and become even bigger than what you were. But there is no middle ground no more. That middle ground of we're just going to coast. Not anymore, you're not. If anything else, I feel like this acquisition is going to force AEW to either sink or swim. This isn't a game anymore. You're either here to do business, to draw them money, or you're going to be cut. Now, do I think AEW will meet the standard? Do I think when push comes to shove, when their backs are against the wall, do I think Tony Khan can live up to the hype? Absolutely. I think when AEW is at its best, it can be better than WWE. I just think Tony Khan has just mentally given up on that, and he's just allowed WWE to push him over instead of doing what's necessary, doing what he needs to do to compete with them, not just on a financial level, but also when it comes to aesthetics, when it comes to the look of it, when it comes to the presentation, when it comes to the crowd, when it comes to everything. AEW, in some instances now, can outshine WWE. Is it right now? Not really. And I don't care what the sickos are saying. The sickos will always say AEW is better than WWE. Tony Khan can get in the middle of the ring, take a dump, and the sickos will still say AEW is better than WWE. So I don't care what the sickos have to say. I'm being realistic and honest. Right now, if you ask a random person, casual viewer, what show is better, WWE or AEW, 9 times out of 10, they will tell you WWE. That's a fact. I don't care what Dave Meltzer or Brian Alvarez or any other content creator has to say. WWE is a bigger marketing machine than AEW. And if they're not willing to step up to the plate, that will hurt them now more than ever. So I hope Tony Khan, AEW as a whole, can look at this situation and go, enough is enough. Take the kid gloves off. Let's go to work. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. You don't have to like what I have to say. And that's okay if you don't like it. But I'm always going to give you the truth. The 100% honest truth about everything. So this is going to get interesting. WWE and AEW under the same umbrella. Anything can happen. This new acquisition is going to change the entire entertainment industry. For better or worse, we'll have to see. What do you guys think? Do you think it will help AEW? Is this exactly what AEW is going to need to finally become that strong alternative that we know it could be when it comes to WWE? Let me know below. But that's the video. Thank you for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all, and I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World, the place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace.